Good morning. I'm out at the campground today and I am going to do a pillowcase, and I'm going to show you how to do it, and we're going to finish it off with a French seam. I at home have a serger, but not everybody has a serger, so I'm going to show you how to finish those seams so they're not raw edged and you don't have to just zigzag them. What I do is I have one piece of fabric. I choose my fabric that I want. This is the fold of the fabric, and I will cut it 27 inches wide. Okay, so it's the width of fabric folded, cut 27 inches there. And then I did this one, and I believe this is 9 inches. This is going to be the cuff of the pillowcase, and it's on the fold. So what I will do is I start with laying this out, my cuff fabric. Okay, I did cut the selvages off of my base fabric, but you can do it at the end if you want. Now I'm going to get my pins. Okay, and I am going to take this and I'm going to start pinning. Okay. I'm making 2 for my bed. I like to make these and kind of freshen up the bed. I can still use the sheets I have, I feel, but I like to, I don't know, something about having a fresh new pillowcase is great. Now, pillowcases are not hard to make. I'm gonna move this a little bit. They are great gifts if you have someone like a child. You can do novelty fabrics, some that's in their favorite things that they are interested in. They will love you forever. You can make a pillowcase with leftover fabric that you have to go with a quilt that you made. Okay, so I have this all pinned. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take, I want to make sure I have this right. I do. I'm going to fold the fabric up to here. I don't want to get it right up there where the top is, because that's where I'll end up sewing. And I'll fold it again, and I'll fold it again. Okay, so this is about how I do it. Then I take this part of your cuff, you bring it on over to where you have pinned before. Remove that pin, put your thumb down to keep it in place, and go ahead and place the pins. So you're actually going to take and pin your cuff then to the rest of it, the bottom of the cuff. You've done the top, and you did the top of the pillowcase. Now you're bringing the bottom up to meet them. Just about done. Okay. Make sure this matches up pretty good. Okay. Now if you feel more comfortable when you're done sewing this, and you want to make sure that and you want to finish that seam, you can do it with a zigzag after you straight stitched it. I don't worry about that. Of course, if you have a serger, you can do it with the serger. But they call this the burrito pillowcase, I guess because you're wrapping it up like a burrito and gonna sew it. So I have just about 2 more pins to do, and then I'm going to take it over to my sewing machine. And with this, I'm going to sew 1/4 inch from the edge. I'll backstitch this part and this part. So I'm going to sew it. Again, I'm going to sew it right down along here, 1/4 inch. Make sure that my pillowcase that's encased in here is out of the way. And I'll be right back. Alright, I'm getting ready to sew my 1/4 inch seam. I'm gonna go up just a little bit further past that selvage because that'll probably be cut off. Sorry for the shaking, but I can't control that. I could go a little slower. That'll help the camera from shaking so much. Okay. Wonder how many of you have done these before. But they do make nice little gifts. Give for your grandkids or your children. Put it at Christmas time. Put a little get one of these, or make 2 for them. But put a gift, wrap a gift up in it. Then that way they actually have 2 gifts at the same time. Make wonderful Mother's Day gifts, birthday gifts, just because gifts. But I've made some up for out here at the campground. My sewing machine might be loud. I don't have a mic on, so I don't know if you can hear me as I'm sewing. But you can see what I'm sewing. That's the important part. We're about there. Okay. So now I have this sewn, the seam all the way. Now, just so you can see, what you do is you grab a hold of this inside here, and you're going to start moving this down and pulling this out. Comes very easily. I'm kind of doing this now so you can see. The rest of it out. And there is your cuff made and sewn to your body of your pillowcase. Now, what I'll do is, if you notice here, just I'm gonna get this good. There's extra hanging over, so at my cutting mat, I'll trim that off and make it even with this. I'll look at the other side, and if it needs to be done, I'll do that. This doesn't matter if really if this is in there, because it's going to be encased in the French seam. But I'll probably trim it off a little bit because I don't want to take a chance of it showing on the side. So anyhow, I am going to take it over to the ironing board. I am going to press it, and then we'll sew the outside. So what you're going to do is you're going to make sure that you press this side, press this out with this seam. And when you're done, you're going to flip it around, and you're going to press this up forward. And then you can end up making a crease up here. Okay, just look at it a couple times when you do it. So I'm going to go press it. I don't think you need to see that. And then I'll be back here and we'll do the French seam. Okay, this is what the pillowcase looks like after I've pressed it. Now I'm going to put wrong sides together. And what I will do is I want to match up my seam here. This one right here. I want to make sure that's matched. So I'll do that, and I'm going to get my pins. And I'm going to put a pin here, make sure it's matching. You can put a pin in the seam of one and then put it in the other, and then you know it'll match. Well, I'd take that pin out though. Okay, then I'm going to go up here. I'm going to make sure that this matches up here. And I'll put a pin in here. And I'll go ahead and I'll pin all the way down and all the way across the bottom too. And I will be sewing this then. Okay, I still have my 1/4 inch foot on. You can do less than a 1/4 inch if you want to. Move this down just a little bit more. And I'm also going to end up switching the foot out for my multi-purpose foot. Okay, that's for when I do the French seam. So I have wrong sides together, which is odd, I know. I'm gonna go, I got a 1/4 inch foot, but I'm gonna just run it alongside of the edge of the fabric here. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna back stitch. Whoop. Take it off. Do this again. Okay. Remember, this is wrong sides together, which I know is different for you. If you're doing this and you're not going to do a French seam, then you will put right sides together. You can do a straight stitch, and then if you want to finish it off, you can do a zigzag on the edges so it doesn't fray. If you have a serger, you will do right sides together, and you can serge this. I guess I didn't pin all this. Okay. Do it as I go. That's okay. Yeah, I've done it with the serger. I really like it. It's really very fast. These are things that it's nice to have on hand for gifts. Oh, speaking of Christmas, we do a lot of, with our neighborhood, we do gift exchanges for each other, just little things, and I like to do handmade things. So maybe this year I'll give each of them a set of pillowcases. I think that's a very good idea. I didn't have an idea at this point of what I was going to do this year. Last year I did bowl cozies, and they were a hit. They went well. Okay, I'm going to backstitch, lift this up. I'm going to turn this and do the bottom. Now backstitch again. Now, if you want to, after you've done your 1/4 inch, if you're concerned about how much that your seam may show on when you do the French seam, you could do a slight trimming of this before you turn it inside, right sides together, and then you don't have to worry about it as much, and which I think I might do. Okay, so I've got that sewn. Now, see the 1/4? I want you to be able to see that 1/4 inch seam there. Now, if I want to, I can slightly trim, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this inside out, or yeah, inside out, and I'm going to put my multi-purpose foot on, and in fact, I'm going to do that now because I want to take a peek at how wide I probably should have that seam on the inside. Doing these French seams are so easy, and what's nice about it is if you're making garments or a jacket, you can okay, now I'm going to see. Okay, you can finish off the inside with it. Now I'm just going to try to determine what I want. I did this. Seeing if that's what I want there. I think I do. I'm just kind of guessing a little bit on what I want to have it at. Okay, so now I'm going to turn it, and I will cut my thread here. Now it's being turned inside out, and I'm going to make sure I get my corners poked out very good. Now, if you want, you can press this so that you can get that seam nice and level and flat, and that's what I'm going to go do, and I'll be right back. Okay, I'm ready, and I measured this. I'm using this little thing just to keep me straight, but I measured what I'm going to do, and it may be bigger than I need to have, but I'm doing almost like a 1/2 inch sew in. So I'm gonna back stitch a few times, go forward. Okay. Then you just go ahead and sew. Now I know that this is probably larger, but it'll still fit on my pillow, so I would say maybe go 3/4. I'm not a half, I'm sorry, I said a 1/2 inch. whatever's between a ½ inch and a ¼ inch, you can do. Yeah, this is going to be a little bit bigger, so I would suggest a little bit smaller, but it will be fine. Yeah, spring is in the air. I need new pillowcases. Okay, I'm going to take this down. Back stitch. Turn it. Back stitch. And go ahead and finish the sewing on the end. Again, back stitch. I'm going to look at my ruler because I want to see what's between. Quarter is 3/8. You could do 3/8 of a seam would be good. That gives you an 1/8 over the ¼ inch that you had done. And then you'll have a little bit wider pillow thing. So this is done. This is my French seam, and I want to open it up a little bit so you can see it, if I can get it open. See how that finishes off? So this is the inside now. Now if you were doing a garment, you would do the same thing. Then you could flip it. I'm trying, let me see if I can get a better picture of this so you can see what I'm trying to explain. Your garment is opened up. Okay. Here's your French seam. You could lay it down like that. And you would top stitch, and that gives you a flat seam then. So if anyone's doing the coats and stuff like this, it's a good way to finish off your inside. So I have this done, so I am going to flip this inside out, and I am going to press it. But I am going to check first to make sure that I have gotten all the raw edges, corner out, all the raw edges covered. And if you didn't get it covered the first time around, just go ahead and take a deeper seam, and you'll get it covered. Okay, there's that. This is it so far. I'm going to press it, and then I'll show you the finished results.